with the latest ITV news in the Tyne region with Payne and Amy Lee.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to ITV News Tyne. Tonight's headlines.
The Durham breast cancer patient devastated by NHS failings, calling on other victims to join as one voice.
I think it's crucial to get women to come together because we've been ignored for so long. I've been ignored for 10 years.
Emergency services urge people to stay safe as Christmas revellers head out on so-called Mad Friday.
The getaway begins. We've got travel advice for anyone braving the road or the rail network over the festive period.
And as we head into the weekend and then Christmas week itself, low pressure staying nearby. But we do have some calmer weather on the way. I'll have more on that in your forecast later.
First tonight, a North East former breast cancer patient who says her life has been devastated by NHS failings is urging other women affected to come together in mutual support.
Lynn Hughes was treated by County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust, which has apologised for a catalogue of failures in its breast services stretching over more than a decade.
As it re-examines hundreds of cases, Lynn wants to bring former patients together to share their experiences and ensure that similar failings cannot be repeated. She's been speaking to our health correspondent, Helen Ford.
From brushing her hair to doing the washing, Lynn Hughes relies on the support of her carer.
It's nice and soft since I washed it. It is, it's nice.
Lynn lives with a number of health issues, but says problems arising from surgery for breast cancer almost a decade ago have seriously affected her upper body.
I can't reach up to get anything. I can't peg out the washing. I can't reach things in cupboards because this scar tissue is so tight.
Coffee or tea?
But mentally,
Yeah, you can.
I can't measure how badly it's made us feel. I mean, I feel it is every bit bad now as what I did 10 years ago.
Lynn's breast cancer treatment was carried out by County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust. An independent report into its breast services covering a period from 2012 to earlier this year was published in November. It highlighted a series of failings, ranging from delayed diagnoses to unnecessary surgery and outdated clinical practices.
You having milk, Lynn, yeah? Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Lynn had already received an apology from the Trust after contacting it in September. She had raised a number of issues, including why she'd received a double mastectomy when cancer was found in one breast. She also reported she hadn't been offered reconstructive surgery or counselling.
The biggest impact I think it's had on me is the fact that I know I would never ever be able to have another partner. So I've been destined to a life by myself for the rest of my life. That's how I feel. That it's robbed us of any future relationship, you know, feeling that love and support.
It's devastating for her. She thinks about it and she looks at herself and she'll say, why me? Why was I left like this, Glenda? And she cries a lot as well. She gets really, really upset. And I tell her, you know, it's fine to cry. You know, if you want to cry, cry. That's okay.
County Durham and Darlington Trust is reviewing the cases of around 1,400 breast cancer patients from 2023 onwards. It says so far it's discovered 44 women came to moderate or serious harm. It may later re-examine cases further back in time. Against this backdrop, Lynn wants to connect with women referred to its breast services.
There's obviously hundreds of women out there and they're probably feeling exactly the same as me. Very, very isolated.
How could a support network benefit you and the other ladies, do you think?
I think it's crucial to get women to come together. So I think the impact of one voice is nothing, it can be ignored, but hundreds and hundreds of women's voices coming forward and saying, I have been harmed and this has damaged me in some way, either mentally or physically. I think that's key, because this cannot be allowed to happen ever again.
Christmas Day will mark 10 years since Lynn first noticed her cancerous growth. She now hopes to harness her difficult experiences for wider benefit.
Well, Lynn is happy to connect to anyone wishing to get in touch on Facebook, and Helen joins us now. So, Helen, tell us how the Trust has responded to what Lynn has said.
Well, we've had a statement from the new Chief Executive of County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust, Steve Russell. He says he is deeply sorry for what Lynn has been through, and he acknowledges what he calls the lasting impacts of what have happened on people's lives. He told us, "I'm profoundly upset that nothing we do now can change what some of our patients have been through, but I am committed to listening and doing everything we can to offer support, and we are in touch with Lynn."
And Helen, the Trust does say that it is happy to meet breast cancer patients and to hear from them and learn about their experiences as well.
Yes, we've heard from Lynn. She wants to gather ladies together to offer mutual support. At the same time, the Trust says it would welcome people coming forward to take part in its patient experience group for breast services. And Mr. Russell told us, "I've been incredibly moved by the patients who, despite their experiences, are now willing to work with us to help improve care for others." And finally, he says he wants to reassure people that major changes have taken place to breast services. He explained, "We have new surgeons in place, better equipment, and have worked closely with external experts to make sure care is in line with national guidance and best practice."
Helen, thank you very much. Now, next tonight, it is the last Friday before Christmas. It's an evening where many head out to enjoy themselves across our towns and cities. It's often called Mad Friday.
Yes, it's one of the busiest nights of the year for emergency services, and they're urging partygoers to stay safe and stay sensible to help ease pressure on what is already a very tough time of year for them.
Venues themselves have also been working hard to keep customers safe, and our reporter Katie Cole has been to find out how.
In Durham this afternoon, the party started early, as is so often the way on the Friday before Christmas. Those heading out in Newcastle feeling festive too.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
At this karaoke bar, staff are expecting a full house tonight, 450 people across 2 floors. Its manager says safety is a priority. He's also the chair of the city's pub watch scheme.
Do you get bother, and how do you deal with it?
The bits you can get can be avoided a lot. A lot of it is about knowing when somebody is too drunk and stopping them before they get in. So obviously at some point everyone will have a little bit of bother, but generally it is a fun, safe place. There's not a lot that goes on, and if it does, there's infrastructure in place to deal with it.
His bar is signed up to the Shout Up scheme, run by a rape crisis charity. It trains those working in the nighttime economy on how to recognise, prevent and tackle sexual harassment.
We work really closely with Newcastle City Council to encourage people to take up the training. We've got 65 certified venues now, and we are currently expanding that in other areas as well, so it's really great to see the kind of the seriousness that everybody's taking this work, knowing that we need to keep people safe.
And what can we all do, people who are out tonight, to make sure that everybody is safe? Have you got any advice?
It's just about being accountable, sticking with your friends, knowing what's going on around you, staying aware, just having the confidence really to address something and challenge it if you think that something's going wrong.
Also involved in keeping the city safe is the council's licensing team. Regular checks are carried out in our bars and clubs.
So we're talking about all the operational procedures. We're asking them whether they've got enough staff to cope with the numbers they're expecting, especially tonight. We're asking them what offers they are providing the customers, making sure that they remain responsible in line with their conditions.
And as night falls, those already out enjoying the city say safety is something they always think about.
Do you feel safe when you come out in Newcastle?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
She's the one you're going to be scared of.
If we go to the toilet, one of us goes, we'll buddy up, we'll always stick together.
But I think you have to stay together, yeah. Definitely.
Taxis home, not going by yourself, stick with the girls and everything. Especially when it's darker at night, it's important to stick together, look out for other people that are maybe a bit more vulnerable.
A vibrant party city, ready for one of the busiest nights of the year. And lots going on to make sure it's all done in the safest environment possible.
Merry Christmas!
Katie Cole, ITV News.
as we've heard, it is an extremely busy time for emergency services right across the region.
Yeah, our reporter Fraser Maud has granted special access to the North Yorkshire Police Control Room as they prepare for the evening ahead.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, that Christmas is less than a week away, but it doesn't mean that the people of North Yorkshire Police are going to be taking it easy. Today is what's known as Mad Friday. It's the last payday before Christmas, the last Friday before Christmas. There'll be a lot of Christmas parties in town, a lot of people going out celebrating Christmas before we get to the weekend, and it's a very, very busy time for the police. We've got dozens of call handlers in here who are taking calls, emergency calls from the public. We've got the dispatch team here ready to send out police and emergency services as and when needed. And I can have a chat now with Andy Nunn, Superintendent here at North Yorkshire Police. It's going to be a busy night for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We expect probably 10-15% increase in our call demand, which will then translate into incidents that officers have to go out and attend.
So how do you cope with that? What do you do?
Well, first and foremost, we need to make sure we've got enough people out on the streets to attend the incidents, so we've put on extra patrols tonight, both mobile and on foot, across towns and cities all over North Yorkshire. And then in here, in the control room, we've got additional call handling staff, additional dispatch staff, to make sure that when those calls inevitably come in, that we're available.
And is the big problem the booze? Is it mostly alcohol-driven, the trouble that you'll face tonight?
It's certainly a contributing factor. You know, we see the calls going up, and a lot of those are alcohol related. We see violence, antisocial behaviour, and driving offences as well that are all associated with excessive alcohol. You know, so from our perspective, we're ready for it. We know what's coming, but we want people to be safe and enjoy themselves. We don't want to spoil their Christmas dues, but you know, be sensible and look after each other.
That's it. You don't want to spoil anyone's fun, do you? You just want to keep people safe, but as well as keeping the public safe, you need to keep your officers safe. You need to keep other emergency workers safe as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely we do. You know, so when the officers are out and about, you know, if they're available and not dealing with incidents, you know, speak to them. You know, they're there to be spoken to and they want to engage with the public, you know, ask them questions and you know, they're there for you as well. For everybody, you know, we want to be here. We want to make sure that we answer the calls and we get the calls for service. So from our perspective, yes, we're available, but if you really don't need us tonight, then maybe wait until tomorrow to ring up for an update on something. But we, like I say, if you need us, we are available.
Superintendent, thanks very much. I'll let you get back to it. I know you're going to have a very, very busy night tonight. So the advice is clear. Enjoy yourself. Don't go too far over the top. And if you do need to get in touch with the police, do only contact them if it is a genuine emergency, because the men and women in this control room here don't want to be messing around with things that aren't a genuine need for help. So get out there, enjoy yourselves, stay safe.
Fraser Maud reporting there. Well, if you're not going on a Christmas night out tonight, then you might well be getting ready to pack up the car to go away, as a record number of motorists are expected to take to the roads tonight as the big Christmas getaway begins.
Well, the advice to try to avoid misery if you are travelling over the festive season includes considering early or late starts to miss those peak travel times. Although when I've tried that, everyone else has the same idea.
Yeah, I've now got the same idea.
Yeah, Kevin Ashford has more.
Heading home and other places for Christmas. Whether it's by road or rail, this can be a busy time of year for travel. Although people we spoke to at the Ron Perry services on the A19 near Hartlepool weren't being too ambitious with their travel plans.
Roadworks where I live really bad, so I wouldn't even attempt to go anywhere. It's bad enough going to work.
Not planning to go too far anyway, so yeah. You just leave a little bit earlier and get back a little bit later, don't you? Life goes on.
The RAC predicts a record number of trips will be made on our roads in the run-up to the festive period. 37.5 million in all. It's the highest figure since the motoring organisation began analysing data. One of the peak travel times is expected to be tomorrow, with 4.1 million journeys. And the busiest day is likely to be Christmas Eve, with 4.2 million trips.
Best advice to drivers, if you're making a long trip in particular, start off nice and early in the morning or delay your journey until the latter part of the afternoon or the early evening. If you travel in the middle of the day, that's when everyone else is on the road, so that's the time you really want to try to avoid.
As usual, there'll be no rail services on Christmas Day and very few on Boxing Day. And engineering work will mean disruption over the festive season. For instance, work on signalling, track and power supplies means some services into York will be affected between Christmas Day and the 3rd of January. Network Rail said the work is carried out at this time because passenger numbers drop, in some cases by up to 50%.
We know it's not ideal, and actually, you know, you have different people travelling at different times of year, and people travelling between Christmas and New Year are probably not regular commuters and maybe need a little bit more help to understand their journey. So it's not brilliant, but given the scale of the work we're doing, really that's the only time of year it makes sense to do it.
However you're planning to get around this festive season, the advice is to plan ahead and, if you can, allow extra time for your journey. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
And safe travels if you are making the journey somewhere tonight. The ITV Evening News continues after us at 6:30 with Lucrezia.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, a woman and her secret lover jailed for 19 years after they plotted to kill her husband. Hundreds of surfers paid tribute to the Bondi Beach shooting victims as Australia announces a gun buyback scheme. And ready for a fight, former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua takes on YouTuber Jake Paul in one of the most controversial bouts in modern boxing. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
And Gregg has joined us now. It's time for a look at the weekend sport.
Powering local sport in the community, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Yeah, Gregg joins us in the studio in for Simon today, and we are 1 week on from the Weir Tyne derby, Gregg.
Yeah, it's only 5 days, strictly speaking, and Simon left me a little note to say, whatever you do, no bad jokes about the derby.
And that's good advice.
It's still sensitive stuff, isn't it? But you know what, whether it left you beaming, whether it left you fuming, or frankly, whether you're just indifferent about the whole thing, trust me when I tell you, as far as both managers are concerned, they've already got plenty of other things to think about going into this weekend.
Aimed towards the post. OK, last Sunday hurt, but Wednesday made it better, right? A win that took the Tyne into a second Carabao Cup semi-final in a row, even if it is against easy-peasy Manchester City. So how come Eddie wasn't all smiles at the final whistle? Maybe here's why. Tino Livramento went off injured during that cup win, clutching a knee that already bears the huge scars of a previous long layoff. The boss confirming today he doesn't expect to see him again until the new year, sending Newcastle into a busy Christmas period, stretched, especially in defence, as they prepare to face Chelsea at home tomorrow lunchtime.
The disappointing thing, we don't have a huge number of injuries, but we just have them focused in one area, and I think that has stretched us in the last few weeks. I think the fixture congestion this season has been like no other. And the cup run is a great thing, but of course that adds to it.
No such problems for the smiling Black Cats of Sunderland, you might think. Well, yes and no. Injuries aren't an issue, but after weeks of flying form, 6 of this side are now flying off to the African Cup of Nations. Among them, midfielder Noah Sadiki's probably the biggest miss. Record signing Habib Diarra is off too after 2 months out injured, but may make the trip to Brighton before he goes. The head coach, though, certainly not turning his pre-match presser into a Christmas pity party.
I think for the players with less game time, they knew before that this period will come, and they are ready because they train properly. They are well connected with the squad, and now we'll manage the game and we'll see.
The derby's done then, move on. The question now, which of these two teams will have the biggest headache this festive season?
Yeah, tricky times potentially for both clubs in different ways. So, Gregg, what do the Christmas fixtures look like for them?
Well, busy for a start, Ian, as is tradition. 4 games in 16 days. Now, looking at Newcastle, perhaps a bit tougher looking at the fixture list. Here it is. Chelsea, Crystal Palace and Manchester United all proving capable this season of potentially leaving the Tyne empty-handed, especially with only 2 first-choice defenders fully fit as we speak. Sunderland, meanwhile, have Manchester City at home, ouch, on New Year's Day, who are really motoring now, but their other matches look winnable if they can get results without their missing African Cup of Nations players. All of them, though, would love Borough's form, though, where in the Championship, Kim Helberg is looking to make it, get this, 5 wins from 5 as Middlesbrough's new head coach. They travel to Bristol City for the start of their busy Christmas period. In his press conference today, Hellberg spoke rather candidly about finding it tough being away from his family in Sweden, but added the support he's received from the club and the fans has helped him through.
From every game I felt so much energy, love, support from everyone, and that is the thing that makes it easier, I would say, because if I would go here and felt like, oh, what am I doing here, or why am I here, but I love being here, and I get so much support from everyone. I get so much support from the Middlesbrough supporters, the Sweden supporters of football. They are amazing in terms of supporting me. The players here are so good to me. Everyone around the staff is brilliant.
Lovely to hear. And you can see if Kim Hellberg can continue his perfect start as Borough boss on the EFL highlights show. That's tomorrow night. It's on ITV4 from 9 o'clock. Turning to cricket now, where Durham's Ben Stokes has tried to keep his England side afloat in the Ashes. He spent 5 hours at the crease over the last 2 days in the baking Australian heat before being bowled out for 83 overnight. England finished the first innings 85 runs behind the hosts, but there was hope when Stokes' Durham teammate Bryden Clark got opening batter Jake Weatherald out for 1. However, England have now been left with a mountain to climb after Travis Head's century to trail by over 350 at stumps on day 3. I think we all know how that one is going to turn out. Frankly, not good. A quick word about 2 other fixtures for you as well. In the basketball, Eagles take on Leicester. That's tonight. And on Sunday in the rugby, Red Bulls have to entertain Bath. That's it for now.
Greg, thank you very much indeed. Now, a campaign to get more children learning sign language is celebrating a significant milestone.
2,000 schools have now signed up to the School of Signs programme, and among them many here in our region. Our reporter James Webster has been to one of those schools to find out a bit more.
At Cademan Community Primary in Gateshead, this class is learning sign language, or BSL. Not only are the children learning how to sign, they're also learning why it's so important.
When you're older and you go to secondary school, you might meet new friends and they might be deaf, and then if you know sign language, you can speak with them.
I know that it's not only deaf people that use sign language, so you can communicate with a lot more people. If, like, one of your friends at school is deaf and you don't know how to communicate with them, they might feel left out and sad.
Shh. Come closer.
The resources for these lessons come from the new School of Signs programme.
I need you to work out a special finger spelling code.
2,000 schools have signed up.
So if you just focus on deaf awareness or just on sign language, it's not the best way to learn. You need to combine both topics. This enables people to understand how to use BSL well and get that deaf awareness knowledge first. And that's how the children gain their confidence and understanding of deaf awareness alongside sign language, to mean that they're able to sign within the deaf community.
Hello, how are you?
The free videos and lesson plans allow teachers with limited or even no signing experience to lead classes.
We have children in our school part of the deaf community, and they do use BSL. So to be able to empower the children to be able to use it, to be able to recognise it, it gives them more confidence. The children that use BSL, it gives them more confidence that they are being valued and being recognised.
With the broken Alexa.
Sabotage.
It begins again. There's also a TV series called Code Breakers, which accompanies the course. The actors who star in it are busy filming a new episode on location in Whitley Bay.
Action!
Code Breakers is about 2 spies who are sent on a secret mission undercover at school, and they've worked out that things are going wrong at this school, but it's their job to find out specifically what is going wrong and how to fix it.
My character's a bit of a... well, he wants to be James Bond, but he ends up turning out more like Johnny English. There's been some feedback that we got back about how it's been helping some children that are deaf feel more confident in classrooms and stuff. So that's obviously what it's all about, and makes the work meaningful 100%.
The idea for all this came from the charity Signature, which has helped 600,000 people to learn BSL.
We were speaking to a school a few weeks ago, and they were saying that the children absolutely love to learn, but also they have some deaf pupils in the class. and they're saying that they are completely different people now. They have grown 2 inches, and they're starting to communicate more with their classmates, which is what we were trying to do when we created it.
Now they hope the success of this programme will carry on and help even more children to grow up understanding sign language and why it's so important. James Webster, ITV News.
It's a great scheme.
Yeah,
Really
it's a
is.
great skill to have as well, so
And
important.
we think the lesson in there as well was Christmas related,
Yeah,
don't we?
we possibly think Christmas tree, possibly,
and the beard was Father Christmas,
Yeah,
maybe?
all good to have at this time of year.
Good skills, good skills.
Great to see the enthusiasm
I
as
don't
well.
know all of the sign language. Hopefully there's not any rain.
Hopefully not. Or snow, maybe.
How would
Bit
you do that?
both. Don't know. Same, snow.
Here's Ross with the weather forecast.
Visibility is clear today, both above and below the water. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
Hello, good evening. Apart from a few blustery showers, actually a pretty settled end to the week. Yes, the winds have picked up at times. We saw some good spells of winter sunshine, clear skies for many, turning things chilly overnight. A little bit of frost, some mist and murk as we head into tomorrow, but it is going to stay mostly dry, and we do see those sunny spells developing once again. There is low pressure nearby at the moment, so things are changeable. Those showers moving in from the west through today. Overnight, there's a bit of a switch around. The winds start coming up from the south, pushing a lot of those showers out of the way, but with low pressure sitting out towards the west of us. Although it's not too intense, it does have further showers and patchy rain spinning around that. And then into next week, with the winds starting to come in from more easterly direction, we will see cloud levels starting to increase. For now, the showers, although hit and miss, sometimes on the sharp side. Breezy, though, they're moving through quite quickly. The winds start to ease as we head through this evening and overnight. We've got those clearer skies with the lighter winds as well, temperatures dropping down to 3 or 4 degrees. That's our towns and cities. Lower in the countryside, a little bit of frost around. Also some patches of mist and murk developing, still lingering as we make our way through tomorrow morning. So tomorrow itself, there's a chill in the air, there's a mist and fog patches, but we do see those sunny spells developing. Lighter winds coming up from that southerly direction through much of the day, only picking up as we head into the evening, although feeling a little bit chillier, highs around 6 or 7 degrees. That's actually about right for the time of year. Through Saturday and into Sunday, again, we are watching the west as this area of low pressure is set to linger. So with that, we do have a few more showers trying to fringe, and at times the wind's starting to pick up as well. And you can start to see that cloud increasing as we make our way into Sunday, bringing a little bit of drizzle with it. More cloud as we head into next week, and again, holding on to that slightly chillier feel. Enjoy your weekend.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
Thank you, Ross. The national news is next, and we'll have bulletins for you across the weekend and also Monday, Tuesday next week in the build-up to Christmas.
Absolutely. Amy will be here with your late update, 11:30 tonight. Have a great festive weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.